Hi, today on the galley, coconut, pineapple, shrimp. So up first, an hour before we want to start cooking, we're going to marinate our shrimp. We only want the shrimp to marinate for an hour. You really don't want to go longer than that, or the citrus is going to start cooking the shrimp, and we don't want that. So I'm going to make my marinade and get my shrimp peeled and in the marinade. And we're going to do 1 can of coconut milk, and I just want to show you. I really like this brand of Blue Dragon coconut milk because it is coconut and water, and you'd be surprised, they can put a lot of crazy stuff in there. So when you're buying your coconut milk, and I am doing the unsweetened, just read the ingredients, but this is a brand that you know will just be what it says it is, coconut and water without any crazy stuff. And I've got 1 pound of shrimp. Now I got lucky, I was at Harris Teeter's and they had the local caught shrimp $21.25 on sale for $10.99 a pound. And to our marinade, we're going to add 1 orange, and we're going to do the zest, and we're going to do the juice, and then we're also going to put a little something hot, some kind of hot sauce. And I think I'm going to go with the gochujang, but you can do any kind of hot sauce or hot chili paste that you like. Now, it's this acid in here that will cook the shrimp like ceviche. Ceviche is technically a cooking style, like broiling or grilling or baking or roasting. Ceviche is actually a way to cook, and it's the acid that cooks your fish or your shrimp. I'm going to get that in there. I love this easy shrimp dish. It's definitely on rotation. And I know this is too big for my orange squeezer, and I don't want to big out the big one. I'm just going to squeeze it. So I'm going to go with the gochujang. This is the one that I'm using. 2 tablespoons. Now, you can make this as hot or is not as hot as you like, but there's a lot of sweetness. The coconut, the pineapple, and the orange, there's a lot of sweetness, so I like to balance that with a little bit of heat. Now for this recipe, I do 1 pound of shrimp. Look at that, I have hot sauce on me. And for us, it'll be a serving of dinner tonight, and then enough for somebody to have lunch one day. But we just want to go down the back, roll around, and then you'll see, and you see that vein in there, and that's what we want to do. We want to take that vein out. So let me get these peeled and deveined and in the marinade bag, and then we'll come back to talk about all the rest of our goodness. So before I bring you down and show you the ingredients that we need for this rice dish, and it's really not that many, this dish comes together really pretty quick, but I serve it on top of rice, and I always go for jasmine rice for this dish because I just like those floral notes that it offers. And you could do basmati or you could do long grain white rice. I just choose jasmine for this. And I just wanted to talk to you real quick about rice. Now, this is Ralston. They're in Arkansas, I think. I think they're in Arkansas. But I just want to talk to you about when you're choosing your rices, no matter what kind of rice that you're buying, if you're buying basmati or sushi or jasmine, to look on the package and make sure it's grown in America, because we grow 20 million pounds of rice annually here in the US of A. There's almost 6,000 rice farmers in the USA, covering almost 3 million acres of rice fields. So, and we grow it all, from short grain to long grain, from purple to white. We grow it all here. So always take a second and look to see if it's grown in the USA. Now, some of them will say packaged in the USA, and they've imported the rice in and packaged it. So you really want to look and make sure that it has a symbol on it that says grown in the USA. And this is just one company that I like, Ralston. They're again in Arkansas, and they grow. They can trace their rice from seed to spoon. It's all 100% traceable here in the USA. They do regenerative farming, and their package is biodegradable and recyclable. So just doesn't have to be this one. This is just a good one. In case you see it, then you'll know. And they have all kinds of rice. They've got basmatis and jasmines and purples and all kinds of rice that they grow. So just take a second and look and try to buy rice that's grown here in the USA. And you know that the farming practices are a whole lot better. And there's some chemicals and pesticides that aren't used here that are used in other places. So on we go to the good stuff. Enough of the Gary lecture. So one thing we are using is pancetta, and you can see I had them slice this pancetta thick, about a 1/4 inch thick. And I did 1/4 of a pound, and I'm just going to slice this into nice big chunky pieces. And if you didn't have pancetta or didn't want to use pancetta, then I would do bacon. And so we got that chopped up. We're also going to use some green onions. Now, I think you have to determine this based on how big they are. These green onions, super, super, super skinny. So I'm going to do 5. If they were fatter, I'd probably only do 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the white parts super chunky. I kind of want everything kind of chunky in here. And then the tops, the green, I'm going to cut much, much smaller like that. And I'm going to keep them separated because we're going to use them in 2 separate times. And then I did a red pepper. And again, you can see I did that in pretty big chunky pieces. So one nice big chunks. We're going to do unsweetened coconut, and I have a 1/2 cup unsweetened coconut. This is the one that I'm using. You could do sweeten. It's going to be really sticky on you. You might want to toast it. But if you thought you wanted something a little sweeter, you could do the sweeten. I just, especially for this dish, prefer the unsweetened. And then we need a pineapple. But we're only going to use 1/2 of the pineapple, and I have 2 here just to show you that, so you can see how this one is yellow around the center, and this is really, really green. And so for a ripe pineapple, this is what you're looking for. You want it to give a little bit, and you want that yellow around there. So I'm just going to sit this one down, and by next week, it'll be ready to go. And I find that cutting a pineapple is much easier with a serrated knife. So we're going to discard the top. And then the skin and this I'm going to keep because I make pineapple water. We drink a little bit of pineapple water every day. And it's a great detox. So I'm going to save my pineapple skins, and I'm not going to lose any sleep if I get a little extra pineapple in there because I'm going to use it for my pineapple water. So we're just going to go all the way around. And let me get a bag to put this in. So I'm just going to cut right down the middle. And for this dish, we're only going to use 1/2 of the pineapple. So I'm going to cut that in half. I'm going to cut that core out. That's going to go in the bag with my pineapple skin. And then I'm going to cut this in half one more time. And again, we're going for big chunky pieces. So pineapple about like that. And scoot that aside. Now, the other half, obviously, you can eat. And there we have all of our mise en place ready. So we're ready to get this dish started. Are you ready? Let's go. So I've got my simmer burner on here, just letting that cast iron skillet heat up, because we're going to do a switcheroo. I'm going to start my rice over here, and I'm going to do 1 cup of jasmine rice. Now this is how I have found the perfect way to make jasmine rice, and I don't soak it, I don't rinse it. For 1 cup of jasmine rice, I'm going to do 1 1/4 cups of water. And bring that just to a boil. So I'm waiting for my rice to come to a boil. I'm going to drain my shrimp into the strainer, because I'm going to keep this marinade, because we're going to turn it into our sauce. And I'm watching for this to come to a boil. Just as soon as it comes to a boil, we'll pop its lid on it, and then I'm going to put it on the simmer burner. And then we are going to simmer for 12 minutes. And turn the heat off, and then it can sit for about 10 minutes. So here we go. We're up to a boil, and I'm going to switch it back to my simmer burner. Put that on low. I'm going to set my timer for 12 minutes. And I'm going to bring him here. And as soon as that heats up, we're going to add our pancetta. So now I'm going to go just a little swirl of olive oil to get this pancetta started. And in with our pancetta. So I'm going to cook this till it just starts to get crispy. Now it's been about 3 minutes for the pancetta. I'm going to add those white parts of the big chunky part of the green onion. My red pepper. I'm going to give that just a minute. I don't want to overcook these peppers. I still want them to have a bite to them. Now we're going to drop that pineapple in there. And we're going to give this 3 to 4 minutes to cook. All right, so you see we're getting this beautiful color on our pineapple. And our peppers have softened up a little bit. This has been cooking about 6 minutes altogether since I added the pineapple. And now I'm going to remove the pineapple from the skillet. A little bit of avocado oil, and then we're going to come in with our shrimp. And I just like to do mine with my tongs so that they get laid nice and flat. All get their own little space. And I'm going to cook these about 3 minutes aside. And while those are cooking, we'll turn off our rice. Now, while these are cooking, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch to my marinade. And I'm going to whisk that up really well. And you can see that color. It looks like the shrimp's overcooked, but that's just picking up all of that fond from the pan, from everything. It's just pure pancetta, pineapple, and we're going to go back in with all of that other goodness and any juices that came off of there, and then in with our marinade. And I'm going to go 1 big pinch kosher salt, maybe a pinch and a half, and then I'm going to take that green bits and just finish with the green bits. And you see how nice and thick that's getting? Isn't it beautiful? I'm going to take that 1/2 cup of coconut and just top it with the coconut. Use stragglers of green onions. And there we go. I'm turning off the heat. And just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I think so. It smells delicious too. All right, so here goes our rice. And just look at how perfect that jasmine rice is. I love the smell of jasmine rice. So I'm going to lay down the jasmine rice. And we're going to top it with this beautiful coconut pineapple shrimp. So here's our beautiful coconut pineapple shrimp. So Billy and I are going to go eat it. I know he's sitting over there waiting patiently for his dinner as you and I chat and make this beautiful dish. But thanks for being here. Send me a comment. Just say hi or let me know what you think about this dish. And I'll see you all later. And until next time, safe cruising.
What's for dinner now?
Coconut pineapple shrimp over Jasmin Rice.
Make sure you share this information, post it, and make a comment. Thank you.
Thank you,
Billy.
Bye, guys.